Welcome to Yoga Talks. I'm so glad to be here. It's good to see you this morning. And I started these Yoga Talks to give you conceptual ideas to deepen your practice. And it always, for me, is easier to relate to maybe just a physical posture. So that's why we started with some of these just poses. But the one thing that I feel may take your yoga practice to the next level is attention to the breath. And that really is the most powerful and most important part of this practice, is breathing and really being present with your breath. So today we'll be discussing two types of yoga breath. Dirga breath, which is the complete breath, and Ujayii breath, which is what we use in our vinyasa class, which is victorious breath, or perhaps also known as ocean sounding breath. And I wanted to start with this Dirga breath because having that capacity to breathe will enable you to deal with whatever it is that's out in front of you. When you get stressed out, if you take a moment, step back, and connect with your breath, it will automatically have an effect on your nervous system. So how you breathe relates to your nervous system in your body. So the complete breath, and we might even think of when we're breathing, just the front part of the body. So we might just think, oh, we're breathing, and it's really this. But we're breathing three-dimensionally. So the Dirga breath is belly, middle ribs, upper chest, and you really focus on each part of the breath. It's not a pause. So in Dirga breath, it's just expand, 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 release. So we can think of the breath, filling the breath, like we're filling a glass of water here. So the glass is three-dimensional, so it's all the way around. So when you're breathing, it's not just this front space, but it's the sides and the back as well. So you'll breathe first, about a third of the way into your belly, and then you breathe a little deeper into your middle ribs. And then you fill the lungs all the way to the top. And then it's a slow exhale, whoopsie, to release. You're not dumping it out like I just did. But I wanted to show you that glass because I feel like that gives a good picture of not just breathing into the front space, but breathing all the way around. So, couple things just to note about just any type of breathing, and that is you should never feel stressed out about just trying to breathe a certain way. That's defeating the purpose. So you might feel there's a little bit of a challenge to some of these breathing styles, but it's not, you're not forcing it. You're letting the breath come, and you're really controlling the breath. So pranayama is reining in the breath. It's really kind of taking control of your breathing. So let's practice our Dirga breath, our complete breath, by sitting up nice and tall, and you can sit on a chair and just feel your sit bones grounding and feel the crown of your head lengthening. So anytime we're working on pranayama, you want to have that long spine, and you want to feel just open to receive the breath. And you can let your hands rest palms down. And you just take a big breath out. Just let it go. Take a deep breath in. An easy exhale. And just one more. Deep breath in. Easy breath out. Now, let's let the breath move right into the belly. Feel it expand front, sides, and back. And then take the breath a little higher into your middle ribs. And then take the breath higher into your upper chest. And then slowly release it, let it go. Do that again. Belly first, and then build middle ribs, upper chest. Easy exhale, letting go. One more time. And releasing the breath. So just take a second here and notice how you feel with that complete breath. I mentioned the nervous system because the way we breathe does have that impact to your nervous system. So you move from that flight or fight response to a rest and digest. So calming yourself with this conscious deep breathing. So when we're moving into a vinyasa class, you often hear me talk about and teach Ujayii breath. So one of the things about Ujayii breath, and this is a different style of breathing, is that it's done with the lips sealed through the nose. So it's that steadiness of breath in and out through the nose. There's a little tightening at the glottis in the back of the throat, so there's a little constriction. You're not forcing it, but as you start to constrict the back of the throat, the breath is going to roll over your vocal cords, creating that whisper sound in and out. And one way just to kind of practice how that sound might work and how the throat might work is to imagine you're fogging a mirror. And so you can take your hand in front of your mouth and imagine it's a mirror, and you take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, you fog the mirror. You can open your mouth and do that again. Deep breath in, fog the mirror, slow and steady. One more time. And you can release your hand. Now it's the same thing, but your lips are sealed and you're just breathing through the nose, and you'll make that same sensation and sound in the back of your throat. And you're not forcing it, it's just very gentle. Take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the nose. Do that again. One more time. And then release the breath. So the sound of the breath moving in and out is a great way to consciously connect to the breath. So it's a slightly audible sound. Sometimes if you're forcing your Ujayii breath, it might sound really harsh, and it might be too much of an effort. So you don't want to have too much of an effort as you're moving through this breath. I don't know if you've ever been to class and you have a really loud Ujayii breather. And sometimes I kind of like hearing it because it connects me to remind me to go into our Ujayii breath. But to the practitioner that's really taking so much effort to breathe like that, it's very challenging to kind of maintain that high level of Ujayii breathing. So it sounds like so you could feel like or hear the effort that I have to make to really force that Ujayii breath. So let it be soft. And if you're having trouble like making that connection to that moving over the vocal cords, just breathe through your nose. And then one last thing, if you're having trouble breathing through your nose, just breathe however you need to breathe. And just like it'll come back to you, and you might even just remind yourself, oh, deep breath in, deep breath out, and that is perfectly fine too. So that is our yoga talk. We talked about the complete breath and Ujayii breath. Does anybody have any questions?